So let's talk A Quiet Place Day One. Hey guys, it's Quanna back again with another review. Hope you guys are doing awesome. So I took myself to the movie theater. Yes, guys, give yourself permission to go to the movies by yourself sometimes. If there's a movie that you want to see and no one else in your life wants to see that movie, go take yourself to the movies. It is okay. Take a little throw blanket, get your snacks, go enjoy. Make sure you go to a theater that has reclining seats. Give yourself the most enjoyable experience, but take yourself to the movies. I tend to not have a lot of people who like horror movies the way that I do, even though I don't consider A Quiet Place quite heavy in the horror genre, much more in the sci-fi genre in my opinion. But that's just kind of how I tend to rate alien invasion movies. But I took myself to the movie theater and I had a good time at the movie theater. There are some diehard A Quiet Place fans who are bashing this movie. As someone who thoroughly enjoyed A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2, I loved this movie for a number of reasons. But hey, one of those reasons is director Michael Sarnoski, who also directed Nicolas Cage in the 2021 movie Pig. He, I think, was the perfect person to take on the mantle of doing a movie in the Quiet Place franchise, because directing a Nicolas Cage thriller / action, Nicolas Cage, especially in his latter years, has been more light on the dialogue in his movie scripts and gives great performances oftentimes with very little to nothing. In fact, despite the whole hot mess that was what was that, Willy's Wonderland. I reviewed that or watched that on my channel. Despite the hot mess that was that, he was absolutely delightful in that movie and did not utter a single word. He doesn't talk a ton in Pig either, and I think that Michael Sarnoski learned from that movie how to do a script that is very light on dialogue but delivers a lot on emotions, and that is what we get here with A Quiet Place. You already know the premise. Aliens invade the earth and they can track you by sound, but they cannot see, and so your only way to survive is to not make a sound. In the original movies, we follow the Abbott family who have to survive these treacherous times in the post-apocalyptic United States, but they are in farmland where things are a little quieter and they're able to survive a little bit better. Well, this movie takes a look at what happens if that invasion begins in a big major city like New York, and we follow Lupita Nyong'o, who plays Samira, also known as Sam, who is at the beginning of the movie in a hospice facility, and she goes into the city with her other patients, and we get the outbreak of the aliens and she has to survive. She is joined by Djimon, who reprises his role as the man on the island, but is actually in this movie, so we know he got his start in New York. It was a nice little connection to part 2. And she is also joined by Joseph Quinn. Most people know Joseph Quinn best from playing Eddie Munson in Stranger Things season 4. He was absolutely phenomenal in this movie, as was Lupita Nyong'o, proving once again that she is becoming a queen in the horror genre. She emotes immaculately on screen. I mean, there were times when she's snarky, where she's sarcastic, where she is angry, where she is sad. She goes through the gambit of emotions, and we follow along with her, wanting to see how she's going to make it through this dire situation. And when she's joined with Joseph Quinn, it only umps the ante. I will spoil a little bit. If you've seen the trailers, you know that she is there with her pet cat. The cat's name is Frodo, so we love a good Lord of the Rings reference right there. And you get to see if the cat survives as well. I was definitely said somebody who was writing this, Michael Sarnoski, was the one who wrote most of the script in collaboration. But he definitely was reading Save the Cat as like the screenwriting guide. Definitely was reading that. But yeah, this movie, in my opinion, was a masterclass in acting for sure. You don't get a lot of big budget effects. You do, of course, see the aliens, and you do get effects with regards to the bombing, but a lot of people were complaining that it didn't make more use of New York as, say, like a movie like Independence Day perhaps. But I actually thought that the way that it was done in this movie was very, very smart, especially given that the Quiet Place world is that they very quickly learned that as soon as you make a sound, the aliens are going to come and swoop you up. While I would have expected to see a lot more carnage in certain aspects, I thought that most of the way the movie flowed, the pacing of the movie, it made a lot of sense. We also get a very respectful way that it's handled in regards to how she comes to learn and how everyone comes to learn this information. It was fast-paced when it needed to be. It was slowed down and heartfelt when it needed to be. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would dare say that if Lupita Nyong'o does not get an Oscar nomination just for her facial acting alone and how she was able to emote in this movie, I would sorely be disappointed. But I thought that this movie was great. I actually would love to see this duo together again. You don't hear that a lot because you don't need repeat couplings in films, but they did such a good job on screen together, and Lupita just lights up the screen. She is, you know, Academy Award winner, Lupita Nyong'o already, but hey, there's nothing wrong with winning 2 Academy Awards. I definitely think that it deserves your dollars at the box office. Go see it in the movie theater. I never got a chance to see A Quiet Place 1 in the theater, and of course Quiet Place 2 came out when we were still pretty much on lockdown. So do yourself a favor if you can and see this one in the theaters. I think that you will enjoy it. Come back later if you want to discuss that ending, because we can definitely do that. But for now, guys, that's it for this video. Do me a favor and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want more movie reviews, especially horror movies or rom-coms. I'm your girl. Toodles.